Okay, after last night's win for Japan over Russia to open the Rugby World Cup, Australia have laboured to a 39-21 point victory over Fiji. It took them 62 minutes to take the lead. I missed the first 10 or so minutes where Fiji were 8-0 up, but Fiji were ahead until the 62nd minute. They at one point were leading 21 points to 12 at the beginning of the second half after an intercept try, which should never have got to that point. The Australians were playing the Fijians at their own game. They were playing fast and loose, and it was not working. There was no structure to the Australian play. The structure changed, and the style of play for Australia changed when Wilgenia came on at scrum half. That added some control, and the forward pack started to get the dominance that they had been lacking outside the scrum for 60 minutes. Littered with mistakes. Fiji on the turnover and in the tackle were dominant for the first 60 minutes, especially turnovers as well. They had multiple turnovers, which you don't expect from the Fijians at breakdown. You expect them to be fast and loose and scavenging off scraps, but their turnovers got them ball, and then they could go up the other end of the field and score some pretty good tries as well. Australia, lacking structure. They were trying to play the Fijians at their own game. Lucky not to have a player yellow card in the first half. For a high shoulder charge tackle, really. No arm wrap at all. Not even a penalty given. Yes, Fiji did have a player sin bin in the second half for repetitive infringements in that 5 metre area around the line out ruck more time. And yes, that did aid Australia with gaining control of the game. Michael Hooper was Australia's best player. Latu, the hooker, got 2 tries. Corabetti got 2 tries. But apart from those 3 actually crossing the whitewash and actually playing particularly well, Australia didn't really show much. That says to me that this Australian side is going to be able to do what they did 4 years ago and get to the final. Yes, we know the Israel Folau saga has had a massive impact on this team and has a massive bearing on this team. But even if Israel Folau was in that team today, the way they were playing, it would have been a similar scoreline. I don't think if you add Israel Folau to that team, it suddenly makes everything better. It doesn't. They started without Wilgenia. They brought him off the bench, and when Wilgenia came on, that's where the structures came in. They reverted to a simple game, power with the forwards, discipline and structure. And guess what? They overturned the deficit that was 21 points to 12 after 45 minutes and turned it into a 39-21 win. They went on a 30-minute scoring spree where they were just constantly getting penalties and tries, and they kept the scoreboard ticking over, whereas in the first 50, 60 odd minutes they weren't doing that. I find it hard though that this Australian side put a record win over the All Blacks about a month ago as well. Looking at that performance, that is not the same Australian side that beat the All Blacks. I think this is now one of the most open World Cups. Looking at that performance and how Fiji played, and Fiji have a very good chance to get out of this group. There is no doubt on that. Fiji have a very good chance to get out of this group. It depends on how their game against Wales goes and how Wales play in this tournament, because with the Rob Howley situation, that's put a dark cloud over Wales's preparations. Now Stephen Jones, we'll see what happens there with him as the backs coach and how much that disrupts the flow. But anything can happen in this group now, because the way Australia played and how badly they played, they look vulnerable, and Wales could beat them. Fiji, looking at how they played for the first 60 minutes with their intensity and their one-up tackling and actually their discipline, they could beat Wales. It is highly, it's probable, not likely, but it's probable. Wales could hammer Australia and hammer Fiji, and then it comes down to who wants to come second place and about the results against the other teams. This is actually a very wide open group now, and Australia have to play better. Fiji have to be more disciplined, obviously we know that, but with ball in hand they were just pulling off moves they had no right pulling off. With very little possession, they had a big lead at the beginning of the second half. So the Fijians are dangerous. They should not be underestimated. They can take a lot from this performance. They have to put in a full 80-minute performance. Australia just have to wake up and smell the music and go, that wasn't good enough. But we've got France, Argentina as the second game of the day, followed by the Springboks versus the All Blacks. So we've got 2 real heavyweight clashes coming up. Argentina could be a dark horse for the tournament, and the All Blacks could be the final in several weeks' time. This could be a preview for the final. I'm going for the Springboks to win this game. I think New Zealand are vulnerable. But there we go. Look forward to 2 more reviews. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the World Cup. And I'll see you all very, very soon.